Pisces, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early to mid-February 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the lovely Pisces collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for Pisces, gang? In early to mid-February. We're getting very close to Pisces season, my good friends. I hope you're all ready to celebrate. But what energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Pisces. Early to mid-February, what's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. There it is. And I will take it. Hey, we got our good friend here, Mr. Bookhead. And he has been showing up little by little here throughout different readings. And a lot of you that have been watching for a while, you know this is like my absolute favorite oracle card. I just love the costume, and one day I will get a Bookhead costume. But it's great. To me, it's like very Page of Pentacles-esque. Now, before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about Mr. Bookhead here. So we have this young individual that has a book for a hat, book for a necklace, has all these scrolls and more books and more books. So it does kind of allude to like student type of energy. That's why it gives me that Page of Pentacles vibe. And I always say pages, to me, especially Page of Pentacles, represents communication, but they are big messengers, but also learning, students, taking in information. So whenever I see Mr. Bookhead, sure, could there be some sort of conversation or talk of importance? It might show up within the reading, sure. But the big thing here is knowledge acquisition, learning things. So for some Pisces, maybe there's certain things or topics where it feels like I'm trying to connect the dots or I need to figure this out. It's a card that does seek clarity and seek information. Now is a great time to learn anything. And this is a great new energy as well. So for a lot of you, whether you're trying to turn over a new leaf, trying to learn new things, get a new job, there's great energy around all that with Mr. Bookhead here. It's very studious, very smart, very intelligent. So we're just going to put him down right there. The downside to Bookhead, sometimes this energy could have tunnel vision, right? Like it's an energy that could be too hyper-focused on something and they don't see what else is happening. So we're just going to let him chill out. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Pisces gang. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So we did have tower energy, but it felt like a good tower to me. The reading was titled A Shocking Victory. Now, I always say that wins, victories, they come in all different shapes and sizes. Sometimes you might just have a couple of really, really good days. Sometimes something will go way better than expected. Could be money, it could be work, could be relationships. So the big thing I was seeing for Pisces is something going great, like completely out of the blue. So just know that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for Pisces. What do you got for us here in early to mid-February for Pisces? And now the deck is being very specific. Usually your cards, like when I'm pulling them, they jump right on out. There you go. Okay. Yeah, it's a little push-pull. So 2 cards popped out together. The first one, we have the Fool. I like it. Big Aries energy. It's forward movement. You know, I always love action in the first card. Then we got the 4 of Pentacles, a total opposite of this Fool card. Where like this energy's going, this energy's stopping. Let's get one more out here, then we'll piece it together. What do we got for Pisces? I mean, we're just going to have to see. Okay, lots of fire. So we got the beautiful Queen of Wands herself. So the fire energy wins out. I could definitely tell you that, Pisces. And if you could harness this energy, that's a beautiful thing. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know, I always like to look at the elements first. It tells us a lot about the areas of life that could be important, and it could also tell us how the energy is flowing. And we have a lot of outer energy, whereas like cups and swords that represents the internal world, fire and pentacles represent the outer. So whether it's things people are doing or things that you have to deal with, they're good, depending on how you work with them. That's the thing with most energies, right? But with the Queen of Wands and the Fool, that's fire. And I always say that's the realm of action. So whether it's the actions we take, the actions other people take, the actions we want to take, it's also a card of energy levels and vitality. So it's great when it comes to health. If you've been feeling a little low, fire is what we want to see because it increases the energy levels. Fire could be your motivation, your drive, your determination, your passion, stamina, all that kind of stuff. Now, the downside with fire, yes, it's good for getting things going. Yes, it's good for action. But I always say when it comes to fire, it could be explosive. It could be a little unpredictable, a little volatility. So it's all about harnessing. And moving to the middle, we have Earth, which does kind of pin it down a little bit, which I think is kind of needed here. Uh, Earth is your feelings of stability, your feelings of security. It can represent the material world around us. So we think of work, we think of business, we think of studies, we think of investments, home, family, living situation. That's all encapsulated with the Earth umbrella. The downside to Earth, whereas like the fire moves a little too much, Earth energy is can be very stubborn. It can be a little clunky. It could feel a little stuck. So a little yin yang of energy happening, like a little back and forth. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we're starting with the Fool card. One of your zodiacal neighbors, that's big Aries energy. I know a lot of Pisces have some Aries placements in there. So for some of you, this could be a card that's connected to you. But when I see the Fool, the first major arcana of the tarot deck, the protagonist of the tarot deck, it's great for fresh, new cycles, new adventures, new journeys. The energy that this Fool holds is very optimistic, happy go lucky. It's having a good time, it's enjoying itself. So I really do like it. It is very quick to act. It is very much like pie in the sky, optimistic energy, which you know I like. But there are downsides to the Fool as well. Like it's an energy that takes action and wants to get something going. But notice in almost every depiction, the Fool is about to walk off the cliff, where it can be very spontaneous. This energy can do things without fully thinking them through. There could be a risky side to the Fool card. And then you add that with the fire and then a little air in there as well. Some people also link this to Aquarius. But we're just going to have to see how it presents. To me, it's an energy that wants to get it going, wants to make something happen. Now, moving to the middle, we have the complete and total opposite. I already mentioned it a couple times. So whereas the Fool, he's like, yeah, let's go. Let's take action. Let's get things popping here. The Four of Pentacles is not budging. Now, a lot of people do see this card as a negative. I don't. I think it depends on the area of life that we're looking at. This is fantastic when it comes to money, when it comes to saving, when it comes to money, when it comes to finances. The Four of Pentacles is what we want to see. When it comes to stability and work, we love this card. But when we get into emotional realm, when we get into personal relationships, that's where this energy can get a little clunky because it's not an energy with a short memory. It's an energy that can hold on to things for a very long time. Um, Forgive but never forget type of energy. It's like one of those. So yes, in worst case scenario, it can cross the line into anger. It can cross into grudge and jealousy, even possessiveness. But we're not going to go full bore and say it's the worst case scenario. It's just an energy that's closed down. Like sometimes this energy could also show up if you're just being very quiet, if you're in hermit mode, just minding your own business. This energy is like sealed up. So you see what I mean? This Fool is ready to rock and roll. It's very optimistic. The Four of Pentacles is like a guardian, where it's like, thou shalt not pass. Now, moving to the back end, we're back in with the fire. So it's like we have the push and pull, and then push again. We got the beautiful Queen of Wands, some more of this fiery energy. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If you don't have any of those placements, you're not connected to one. Remember, it's not gender specific. Queens represent the internal aspect of the suit, and we did speak at some length about what the fire suit represents. So when I see her, I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I'm on top of the world. This is a beautiful, sexy card, too. So it can also deal with aesthetics and look changes. So for some Pisces, now might be a good time to switch up the look, switch up the wardrobe. Those things could be on your mind with the Queen of Wands. She's just very confident in what she says and how she says it. But the downside, just like with every fire card, The Queen of Wands can be a little extra sometimes, where she could do things without thinking them through. There's a volatility. And sometimes she can also represent someone that is very self conscious when we look at the rough side. So it's like we have this give take, it's like we have this confidence, and we have the self consciousness potentially. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Pisces. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for Pisces gang? What do we got for our good friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Fool. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Pisces, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Fool card. What is going on here? Love it. Love it. I mean, I'm going to hold some reservation because of the Four of Pentacles and what we still have to come. But we have more of the fire. We have the Sun, the most positive card in the whole entire deck. And the Sun is also depicted in the Fool card. You see that? Now, this is Leo energy. So you see what I mean? There's an overabundance of this fiery energy coming in for Pisces. And it does tie in to what I was seeing last week. Remember, last week's reading was like a shocking victory. This one is like an explosive victory with the fire energy. So it makes sense that for a lot of Pisces, various things can improve like that, like right off the rip, out of the blue. So I think it's claimable. I'm getting pumped up about it if you can't tell, but I'm holding back because of this Four of Pentacles. We want to see what that shows. But the Sun, it's source energy, it's everything, it's wins, it's victories, it's light, life, and love. It's beautiful and it's intense. That's the thing. So like when I see the Fool with the Sun, this is intense happiness. So I claim it. I hope you do as well. Even if this is inner peace or just something you are very pleased with. Uh, Even if the rest of this turns out to be a train wreck, I feel like this in and of itself, the fact that this showed up, I'll take it. I'll take it. If there's like a give or take or a trade. So to me, it's an explosive win. I do. I feel that. I just have to call it what it is. Because the only downside to the Sun is, yeah, could it be realizations, revelations, sure. But there's an intensity to the Sun. You ever get sunburn? So like when I see the Fool with the Sun, it's like, oh, all right, that's intense. It's very hard to contain myself. So I think that's an explosive win, very similar to last week, something that just pops off out of the blue in your favor. So if you're cross-watching this for Pisces, it could deal with your situation with the Pisces as well. But we want to stay prudent because we still have a lot to go. Let's go in on the Four of Pentacles. Let's see what's happening. Hopefully it's not a buzzkill, right? So why is the Four of Pentacles here for Pisces? Slower. This is a bit slower. So it's like this one energy brings everything else up. Like, you know how like water levels rise? I don't know why I'm getting that, but it feels like that. Where it's like if the water level goes up, all the ships do. So it's like this win or whatever this is raises the bar and it raises everything else up around it, which I think is great. Now, for those of you that have been dealing with some difficulties, whether emotionally, mentally, physically, or even monetarily, if you've been dealing with something for a very long time, the Six of Swords tells me it's like now we're starting to see improvements. So even the most difficult of situations or the most difficult of thoughts or things that have seemed insurmountable, it's like I'm starting to see uh, progress. I'm starting to see action. I'm starting to see progress here. So it's like whatever this is raises everything else up around it. That's the best way I could put it. Now, for some of you, if we want to get like stick to the classic terms and just stick to a non-intuitive message, Four of Pentacles with the Six of Swords could be either saving for a move or saving for a trip. That's like one thing. So I like the energy around that. So just if you're dealing with like wanting to take a vacation or wanting to relocate, this energy is good for that because it's like I'm stashing. But aside from that, it's something that I've been dealing with for a long time that starts improving because of this. Let's keep going. I'm pumped. I think this is a really good reading so far this week, Pisces. Somehow better than last week. So let's go in on the Queen of Wands. Okay. It's like you fix this one, like you fix this, and everything else benefits. It's like a chain reaction of winds. Okay, so we do have even more fire. So just what I was saying in the beginning about the explosive wind, it's the same thing. Same thing. Now this one's a little more strategic. So we have the Two of Wands, where, like, you know how sometimes in life we want to speed stuff up. This energy kind of wants to slow something down and contain it. So this could be spirit saying like, hey, Pisces gang, maybe don't get too ahead of yourself, or maybe just pace it, enjoy it. You know, when you're having like a really good meal or a really good dessert, you want to savor it. That's how this feels to me. Queen of Wands with the Two of Wands. It's like, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to savor this. I've been waiting for this, and I'm going to enjoy it. So I like it. Again, there's something here with like travel or relocation that looks good to me. Um, but the Two of Wands is not as wild as other fire cards. This one does deal with strategy and planning. So when I see the Queen of Wands with the Two of Wands, Spirit might be saying, like, all right, Pisces, whatever it is you're dealing with, take a methodical, planned out approach, and maybe that'll make you more confident and get you better results. But at the same time, I feel like this is savoring something, like enjoying it, where it's like, yeah, I'm going to enjoy it. I've worked for it. I've waited for it. Now I'm going to enjoy it. So that looks good to me. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Love this reading this week, Pisces. So even if you're going through some difficulties, like, this is definitely a silver lining at minimum. But if you kindly look in the box, there could be a lot of things that do a switch up on you in a positive way. We got the Fool with the Sun in the upright. This could be an explosive winner victory coming in, where it just pops on in. Quick 180. I love it. I think it's great. Could it be money? Sure. Could it be personal relationships? Absolutely. But it's something that this win, this achievement, this manifestation raises the bar for everything else around it. So I think it's really great. Super optimistic, very intense. It's very hard for me to contain myself while feeling this energy. Moving to the middle, we have the Four of Pentacles with the Six of Swords in the upright. So the classic sense, that could be saving money for a trip or relocating. Good energy around that. Take your time. But another thing I'm picking up here is something that I may have been dealing with for a long time is starting to see progress. It's starting to get better. And it's because of this. It's like this win, or whatever this is that happens, this event makes everything else better because of it. It's like the water level's going up here. Onto the back end, we have the Queen of Wands with the Two of Wands. Yeah, maybe Spirit wants you to take a practical, reined in approach to something, or be very strategic about it. But I also got an energy here of savoring something, enjoying it because I worked for it, or because I've been wanting it for so long. So please, love it, claim it, take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got here for Pisces, gang? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get it going. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Pisces, gang? What do we got? Three of Pentacles. So this could be around the circle of influence around you, or deal with work and career-based things. I like the Three of Pentacles. I always say it's my card of teamwork makes the dream work. So whether you're needing help or assistance, don't be afraid to ask. This is like a group activity or a group endeavor. So if you've been wanting to get more social, this is a good energy around it supporting. However, there is the shadow side of the Three of Pentacles, where sometimes it can represent, certain things where it might be easier to just do it by yourself, where it's like the less people you involve, the better. So just keep that in mind with whatever it is you're dealing with. The less people, the better. I don't always say that, because the Three of Pentacles could sometimes be too many chefs in the kitchen, if that makes sense. So just watch out for stuff like that, or someone that's just very difficult to work with. But overall, the energy this week is looking really nice, Pisces. So we're going to leave it at that, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the February subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, you could book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could have a little chat. My February calendar is up, so go check that out. They usually go pretty quick. But for the February subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice different style this month. We're doing a winner's choice. So the winners, which will be three, will have their choice of the Tarot of the Owls, the Gilded Tarot Royale, or a handmade crystal pendant from my shop, mastermetaphysics.com once again. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards we saw in this week's reading, which one caught your attention the most, whether it really inspired you or hit you right in your feelings. Anyone that stood out to you, and you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.